Ladies and gentlemen, today is difficult. Tomorrow will be worse. But the day after tomorrow will be beautiful if you don't give up. When I started Alibaba, I had no money, no connections, and no experience in business. I was just a teacher who believed in the power of the internet. People laughed at me. They said, "You don't understand technology. You don't know anything about business." But I had one thing: they couldn't see it, but I could feel it. It was belief. The world is changing every day. You might not have the best background, the highest degree, or the strongest network, but what matters is your vision. A new future is not given to you. It is created by those who dare to dream and act. Many people complain about problems. Few try to solve them. Which one do you want to be? Failure is normal. I failed many times. I was rejected from jobs, from universities, from investors. But every failure taught me something valuable. The secret is never giving up. The moment you stop trying is the moment you truly lose. If you keep learning, keep improving, and keep pushing forward, you are already winning. Don't wait for opportunities, create them. The best way to predict the future is to build it yourself. If you have a dream, protect it. If you believe in something, fight for it. No one will believe in you until you succeed, but that's okay, because you believe in yourself. Belief is the foundation of every great achievement. When you believe in yourself, you create an inner force that pushes you forward, even when everything around you seems to be falling apart. Many people wait for others to believe in them before they take action, but that is a mistake. The world does not give you confidence. You must build it from within. Think about every successful person you admire. They were once ordinary people, just like you. The difference is that they held on to their belief, even when no one else did. When I started Alibaba, I was just an English teacher. I had no money, no connections, and no knowledge of business. When I talked to investors, they laughed at me. They told me, "Jack, you don't understand the internet. You don't understand technology. You don't understand business." But I understood one thing. Small businesses in China needed a way to sell their products online. I believed in that vision when nobody else did. Most people give up before they even start because they are waiting for someone to validate them. They want their friends to support them, their family to encourage them, and society to tell them they are on the right path. But if you need validation before you act, you will never take the first step. You have to be the first person to believe in yourself. You have to be the one who sees the future before it happens. Belief is not just about thinking positively. It is about committing to your vision with everything you have. It means waking up early, working late, and pushing forward even when there is no guarantee of success. It means training yourself to see possibilities where others see obstacles. Every time you face a challenge, you have two choices. You can either see it as proof that you are not good enough, or you can see it as an opportunity to grow. Those who believe in themselves always choose the second option. Many people let fear control their lives. They are afraid of failure, afraid of rejection, afraid of what others will say. But the truth is, fear only exists in the mind. The more you listen to it, the stronger it becomes. The only way to overcome fear is to take action despite it. When I was rejected from Harvard 10 times, I could have accepted that I was not good enough. When I was rejected from dozens of jobs, I could have decided that success was not meant for me. But I refused to let rejection define me. I believed that I had something valuable to offer, and I kept moving forward. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. When I tried to raise funding for Alibaba, I met with over 30 investors, and every single one of them said no. They told me my idea would never work. They said e-commerce had no future in China. If I had listened to them, Alibaba would not exist today. But I didn't listen because I believed in the future I was creating. If you have a vision, protect it. Do not let other people's doubts become your reality. One of the biggest reasons people fail is that they give up too soon. They start with excitement, but as soon as they face difficulties, they stop. They say, "Maybe this is not for me." But success is not about getting everything right on the first try. It is about staying in the game long enough to win. Most people quit when success is just around the corner. If you truly believe in what you are doing, you will keep going no matter what. There will be days when you feel like giving up. There will be moments when you doubt yourself. But remember this, the people who succeed are not always the smartest or the most talented. They are the ones who refuse to quit. They are the ones who keep moving forward even when everything seems impossible. They are the ones who believe in themselves when no one else does. Belief is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. The first step is always the hardest, but once you take it, every step after that becomes easier. Start today. Believe in yourself even when nobody else does. Because one day, the world will see what you always knew was possible. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. Many people fear failure so much that they never even try. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect opportunity, but perfection never comes. The truth is, the only way to learn, grow, and eventually succeed is by failing first. Every successful person has faced failure. When I was younger, I applied for 30 different jobs and was rejected by all of them. Even when KFC came to China, 24 people applied, and 23 got hired. I was the only one rejected. I applied to Harvard 10 times and was rejected 10 times, but I never let those failures define me. Instead, I used them as motivation to keep improving. If you see failure as the end, it will break you. But if you see it as a lesson, it will make you stronger. Most people misunderstand failure. They think failing means they are not good enough. But failure is simply feedback. It tells you what works and what doesn't. It teaches you things that success never can. When we started Alibaba, we faced failure every day. The first 3 years were extremely tough. We had no revenue, no profit, and many people told us to give up. But we kept learning from our mistakes. We adapted, we changed, and we improved. That's why we eventually succeeded. If you fear failure, you will never take risks. And if you never take risks, you will never achieve great things. Look at the biggest companies in the world. They all took risks, and they all failed at some point. But they didn't stop. Amazon, Apple, Tesla, none of them were overnight successes. They all struggled, they all made mistakes, and they all faced rejection. The difference is they kept going. In China, there is a saying, fall down 7 times, get up 8. This is the mindset you need to have. Every time you fail, you are learning something new. Every time you get up, you become stronger. If I had given up after my first rejection, I would never have started Alibaba. If I had stopped after my first business challenge, I would never have built a global company. The reason I succeeded is simple. I refused to quit. Some people fear what others will think if they fail. They don't want to look foolish. But let me tell you something, those who laugh at you today will admire you tomorrow if you keep going. People criticized me when I started Alibaba. They said I was crazy. They said I didn't know anything about business. But after we succeeded, the same people who doubted me started calling me a genius. The world only respects results, but results only come to those who are willing to fail first. Failure builds character. It makes you stronger, more resilient, and more creative. When you fail, you are forced to think differently. You have to find new solutions, new ideas, and new strategies. This is how you grow. Without failure, there is no innovation. Without failure, there is no success. Many young people today want instant success. They want to achieve great things without facing difficulties. But that is not how the world works. Success is like climbing a mountain. The higher you want to go, the more challenges you will face. But every step you take, no matter how difficult, brings you closer to the top. Some of the greatest lessons in life come from failure. When I started Alibaba, I made many mistakes. I hired the wrong people. I made bad business decisions. I lost opportunities. But every mistake taught me something valuable. Every failure helped me build a stronger company. If I had been afraid to fail, Alibaba would never have become what it is today. The problem is not failure. The problem is giving up too soon. Most people quit after their first big failure. They say, maybe this is not for me. But how do you know unless you keep trying? The only real failure is quitting. If you keep going, every failure brings you closer to success. Think about Thomas Edison. He failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. If he had stopped after 100 failures, we might not have electric lights today. If Steve Jobs had given up after being fired from Apple, he would never have changed the world with the iPhone. The biggest difference between those who succeed and those who don't is persistence. Failure is not a reason to stop. it is a reason to work harder. If you fail, analyze why. What went wrong? What can you do better? Use failure as a tool for growth. The best entrepreneurs, the best athletes, the best leaders, the best failure as fuel. Most people overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they can do in 10 years. If you fail today, that does not mean you will fail forever. It just means you are still in the process of learning. Be patient. Keep improving. Keep pushing forward. Success is not about never falling. It is about always getting back up. Opportunities are not something you wait for. They are something you create. Many people spend their lives waiting for the perfect chance, the perfect time, or the perfect conditions. They think, if only I had more money, more experience, more support, I would start. But success does not work that way. The world does not give opportunities to those who wait. It rewards those who take action. When I started Alibaba, there was no roadmap. No one told me, Jack, this is how you build an e-commerce company. In fact, most people thought it was a bad idea. The internet was new in China, and very few people believed it had a future. But I saw a need. Small businesses were struggling to sell their products, and I believed the internet could change that. So, instead of waiting for someone to create the opportunity, I decided to build it myself. Most people look at successful companies and think they were lucky. They say Amazon was lucky or Tesla was lucky, but they don't see the years of effort, the failures, and the risks that were taken. Luck is not something that just happens. It is something you create by being prepared and taking action. The more you work, the more chances you get. The more you try, the more doors open. If you want to build a future, you cannot sit and hope that someone will give you a chance. You must take risks. You must put yourself out there. If you have an idea, start working on it today. It does not matter if you do not have all the answers. Nobody starts with all the answers. The most important thing is to begin. You will learn as you go. Many people are afraid of failure, so they do nothing. They say, what if I try and it doesn't work? But the real question is, what if you never try at all? If you do nothing, you are already failing. At least if you try, you give yourself a chance to succeed. In my early days, I had no money, no connections, and no experience in business. But I had determination. I had a vision, and that was enough to start. I gathered a small team of people who believed in the idea, and we worked from my apartment. We had no fancy office, no investors, and no certainty that things would work. But we did not wait for someone to make things easy for us. We created our own opportunities. If you look at the most successful entrepreneurs, you will see a pattern. They did not wait for a big break, they made it happen. Elon Musk did not wait for someone to give him a chance to build rockets. He took a risk and started SpaceX. Steve Jobs did not wait for permission to change the world with personal computers. He started in his garage. The greatest opportunities are created by those who refuse to wait. Some people think, I don't have the right skills, the right education, or the right background. But none of that matters as much as you think. The world is full of people with great degrees who never take action. It is also full of people with no formal education who build empires. The difference is mindset. If you believe that you can create opportunities, you will find a way. If you believe that you must wait, you will always be waiting. One of the most powerful lessons I have learned is that small actions lead to big results. When we started Alibaba, we didn't try to conquer the entire market at once. We focused on solving one small problem at a time. Day by day, we improved. Step by step, we built something bigger. Many people fail because they want instant success. But real success is built over time through consistent effort and learning. You have more control over your future than you think. If you are in a job that you do not like, you can start learning new skills today. If you have a business idea, you can start small and test it. The internet has made it easier than ever to build something from nothing. But the first step is to take action. The biggest difference between successful people and those who struggle is not intelligence, luck, or resources. It is their willingness to take initiative. The world does not care about what you plan to do. It only cares about what you actually do. You can have the best idea in the world, but if you never act on it, it is worthless. If you want to create opportunities, start by solving problems. Look around you. What challenges do people face? What can you do to make their lives better? Every great business, every great invention, every great career was built by someone who saw a problem and decided to solve it. The world is full of people who complain. They say the economy is bad, there are no good jobs, everything is too difficult. But complaining changes nothing. Instead of focusing on what is wrong, focus on what you can do. There is always something you can do. It might be small, but small steps lead to big changes. Success is not about having the best resources, it is about being resourceful. When Alibaba was struggling, we did not have the luxury of waiting for outside help. We found creative ways to keep going. We adapted, we innovated, and we worked with what we had. This is the mindset you need. If you want a better future, do not wait for someone to give it to you. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Start where you are. Use what you have. Take action today. Because the future does not belong to those who wait, it belongs to those who create. The journey to success is not about luck, background, or waiting for the perfect moment. It is about belief, persistence, and action. Those who achieve greatness are not necessarily the smartest, the richest, or the most talented. They are the ones who refuse to give up. They are the ones who continue to move forward despite challenges, failures, and doubts. Believing in yourself is the first step. The world will not always recognize your potential immediately. People will doubt you. They will tell you that your ideas are impossible, that you are not good enough, that you do not have what it takes. But the only opinion that truly matters is your own. If you believe in your vision and commit to it with everything you have, you will eventually prove them wrong. No one achieves success without first believing in themselves when no one else does. Failure is a natural part of the journey. It is not something to fear, but something to embrace. Every mistake, every rejection, and every setback carries a lesson. Those who succeed are not the ones who never fail, but the ones who learn from their failures and use them as stepping stones. The road to success is built on failure, persistence, and the ability to stand up every time you fall. The only true failure is giving up. Opportunities do not come to those who wait. They come to those who take action. The world is full of people with great ideas, but very few act on them. Success does not come from thinking, wishing, or hoping. It comes from doing. If you have an idea, start working on it today. If you have a goal, take the first step. You may not have all the answers, but you will learn along the way. The most successful people in the world are those who create their own opportunities instead of waiting for someone to hand them one. The road to a new future is not easy. It requires courage, resilience, and determination. There will be times when you feel lost, when the obstacles seem too big, and when giving up feels like the easier choice. But those moments are the true test. If you push forward, if you keep believing, if you keep taking action, despite the difficulties, you will reach the success you seek. Every great achievement starts with a single step. It does not matter where you are today. What matters is where you are willing to go. The future belongs to those who dare to dream, to those who refuse to quit, and to those who take action even when the odds seem impossible. Your future is in your hands. The choice to create it starts now.